Let's boost your English skills.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Boost English. Ready for a deep chat today, Billy?
Absolutely, Olivia. We're diving into regrets. Big ones. The kind people think about at the end of their lives, right?
Right? A nurse named Bronnie Ware talked with dying patients and heard 5 common regrets. They're powerful lessons.
Yeah, and we're going to explore each regret and see what it teaches us. Listeners, think about your own life as we go.
Regret number 1 is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected.
Oh, that hits home. People often follow a safe path. Study business because parents prefer it. Stay in a dull job, that sort of thing.
Exactly. True courage means ignoring that external pressure and choosing what excites you, even if friends raise an eyebrow.
How about you? Was there a moment you almost ignored your own dream?
Sure was. I once stayed in accounting even though I wanted to study design. Eventually I quit, but I lost years.
I see. Same here. I delayed moving abroad because everyone called it irresponsible. Turns out it was the best decision once I leapt.
By the way, courage isn't always dramatic, right? Sometimes it's as small as telling your family you're learning guitar instead of MBA prep.
Right. Or choosing to speak English in public, though your accent's obvious. Each tiny act trains your bravery muscle.
Listeners, picture a sliding door. One side is safe routine, the other is the dream door. Which knob will future you wish you turned?
Great image. Write the dream on a sticky note and see it daily. Visual cues nudge you past fear.
Regret 2. I wish I hadn't worked so hard.
Really, many people grind nonstop thinking hustle is heroic. But overworking can rob you of family dinners or sunsets on the balcony.
Right. The patient's kids grew up while they were glued to the office and they realized money cannot rewind that time.
Exactly. A balanced schedule sounds cliche, yet it's revolutionary if you actually implement it.
Did you ever skip a major event because of work?
Sadly, yes. I missed my sister's graduation thanks to an urgent marketing campaign. I still cringe at the memory.
I once answered emails during my own birthday dinner. Guests sang while I typed. The cake picture haunts me as a reminder.
Oh, wow. Listeners, identify one work habit you can trim, maybe late-night Slack checks. Protect your evenings like a priceless antique.
Good tip. And treat sleep as an investment, not an expense. 8 hours pays compound interest in clarity and creativity.
Regret 3. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings.
Bottling emotions. People fear conflict or embarrassment, so they swallow truth and wear a polite mask.
Exactly. Later they realize authentic words could have healed rifts or sparked romance, but the window closed.
I kept silent about liking a classmate. 10 years later we met, and he said he liked me back then too. Missed plot twist.
Same. I never thanked a teacher who changed my life. When I finally wrote, her email auto-replied, "Retired." I mailed a letter anyway.
Expressing feelings might be awkward, but silence can sting longer.
Listeners, practice with small honesty reps. I appreciate your help, or I felt hurt yesterday. Emotional fluency grows like vocabulary.
Regret 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends.
Social networks promise easy contact, yet meaningful relationships wither without real effort, right?
Yeah, we scroll profiles and assume we're updated, but months pass without a call. Meanwhile, memories gather dust.
Exactly. A simple, "Hey, thought of you" text might rekindle warmth and prevent that hollow regret.
True. I recently reconnected with my college roommate. We laughed like nothing changed and planned a reunion trip.
I schedule friend o'clock on Sundays. It sounds silly, but a calendar ping keeps bonds alive.
Nice hack. Friendship is like a plant. Water it or it wilts. A 2-minute call counts as watering.
Listeners, pause the podcast later and ping someone you miss. Use English if they understand. It's great practice.
Regret 5. I wish I had let myself be happier.
Interesting. People postpone joy, waiting for a promotion, a thinner waist, a perfect partner. Then decades vanish.
Right. Happiness is often a decision, not a destination. One patient realized she could have danced in her kitchen every evening, but felt silly.
So true. We can savor small pleasures now instead of treating joy like an annual bonus.
The science backs it. Microjoy boosts serotonin, which helps memory. Fun and study aren't enemies. They're dance partners.
About letting yourself be happier, I heard a quote. Fun is not a reward, it's part of oxygen. Makes sense, right?
Definitely. Joy fuels resilience, a silly dance breaks tension, and even helps memory retention when studying verbs.
Exactly. So letting yourself be happier can literally boost language acquisition. Mood affects cognition.
True. So grab an ice cream between grammar drills. The point is to experience micro joy, not just mega vacations.
Happiness isn't a someday island. It's a daily dock you can step onto for a minute.
Of these five, which resonates most with you?
Bold living, the first one. Every time I shy away from a bold step, I imagine future me shaking his head.
Same here. I stick sticky notes on my monitor that say, "Will I regret not doing this?" It pushes me to act.
Nice hack. Listeners, maybe try writing your own reminder.
And schedule tiny joy breaks. 5-minute dance, midday walk, quick call to a friend.
Billie here adding another challenge. Adopt a regret diary. Each night jot one thing you'd regret if life ended today, then plan a fix.
Great exercise. Awareness today means less regret tomorrow.
Exactly. Regrets are feedback from future you. Use them as GPS, not handcuffs.
That's tweet-worthy. Hashtag GPS of the soul.
Feel free to tweet it, folks. Remember, reflection without action just marinates guilt.
So true. Action converts regret into growth. You know, Billy, a recent global survey showed that boldness regrets and connection regrets cut across cultures from Tokyo to Toronto. Interesting, right?
Really? That means geography doesn't shield us. Whether you bow or handshake, ignoring your dream still stings the same.
Exactly. And age matters too. Younger people often worry about career choices, while older adults mourn lost relationships.
Oh, I read Daniel Pink found 4 big buckets: foundation, boldness, moral, connection. They overlap these 5 perfectly.
True. So if you focus on health and saving early, you reduce foundation regret. It's like insurance for future peace.
Good analogy. And moral regret, doing the right thing, kind of hides inside expressing feelings and staying honest.
Right? Imagine apologizing now instead of on your deathbed. Saves decades of cringe.
Speaking of honesty, research says we overestimate how harshly people judge our admissions. Listeners, that's called the spotlight effect.
Nice term drop. Basically, the crowd isn't staring, they're starring in their own mental movies.
Exactly. So confess, compliment, or propose without assuming you're under a microscope.
Another thought, schedule fear setting. Write the worst that could happen if you chase a goal, then note how you'd recover.
Great exercise. Tim Ferriss popularized it, but Stoic philosophers did it 2,000 years ago. Nothing new under the sun.
Love it. Also remember the 80th birthday test. Picture guests raising a toast. What accomplishments do they thank you for?
Brilliant. If you're grinding overtime for a fancy printer budget, that toast scene might feel empty. Use it as a compass.
And joy isn't fluff. Positive psychologists say savoring boosts well-being and even immune function.
So joy is practically a vitamin, free, tasty, and medically approved.
Exactly. Plus, humor sticks language. You recall puns longer than plain definitions.
True. So laughing at an idiom helps you remember it during exams.
Quick challenge, send a funny English gift to a friend today. That action tackles regret for and cements vocabulary.
Double win. And bold if it's a crush. Maybe you spark a rom-com plot twist.
If it works, invite us to the wedding chairing session.
Deal. We'll bring our best phrasal verbs as gifts.
Billy, let's zoom in on regret 2 again. Some companies now test 4-day work weeks. Productivity stays steady. Burnout drops.
Wow, so systems can change. It's not just personal discipline. Listeners, maybe propose a pilot program at your office?
Exactly. Frame it as an experiment, gather data. Courage plus evidence beats endless overtime.
For regret 3, I like the 2-minute apology. If something bothers you, address it within 48 hours. Short and clear.
Nice. Letting wounds fester turns a paper cut into an infection. Quick words, quick healing.
On regret 4, a neuroscientist said, social isolation triggers the same brain alarm as hunger. Friendship is mental food.
Love that. So skipping friend time is like skipping meals. You wouldn't starve your body, don't starve your social self.
Regarding regret 5, happiness researchers suggest 3 good things journaling. Each night list 3 small positives.
Tried it last month. My mood graph jumped. One entry just said, perfect mango. Joy can be deliciously trivial.
That's great. Mangoes beat spreadsheets any day.
One more tool, the anti-bucket list. Write things you'll stop doing, like doom scrolling, so you reclaim hours for passions.
Cool idea. Removing drains creates space for gains.
Exactly. And small hinges swing big doors, as they say.
Listeners, even a 5-minute tweak can rewrite future regrets.
So true. Regrets are loud teachers. Let's learn the lesson before the test.
Well put. Ready to tackle vocabulary?
Before we wrap up, let's break down tricky words from today. Okay, first word, courage. It means the mental strength to face danger or difficulty. Example, I needed courage to quit my job.
Next, authentic. Something genuine, not fake. Your authentic self is your real personality, right?
Exactly. Then we said rewind, meaning go back to an earlier time, like rewinding a video.
Good one. Another word, implement. To put an idea into practice, if you schedule breaks, you must implement that plan.
Perfect. How about rekindle? It means to restart a feeling or friendship that faded. A phone call can rekindle a bond.
Nice. Postpone means delay. People postpone joy rather than enjoy today.
And destination is a place you aim for, literal or metaphorical. Happiness isn't just a destination, it's a daily choice.
Great. 2 more. Resonate. To produce an emotional response like a song that resonates with you.
And hollow. If something feels hollow, it lacks substance or warmth, like hollow regret from lost friendships.
More vocabulary. The word vulnerable came up. It means open to harm or criticism. Example, sharing feelings makes you vulnerable.
Good one. Next, margin. In life planning, margin is extra space or time for unexpected needs, like leaving margin in your budget.
Then we used portfolio metaphorically. In finance, it's a set of investments. In time management, your mix of activities.
Yep. How about resilience? That's the ability to bounce back after stress, like a rubber band that snaps back.
Perfect. Finally, cognition refers to mental processes of knowing, like memory or reasoning. Mood can enhance cognition.
Bonus word, procrastinate. It means delay doing something. Don't procrastinate calling that friend.
And prioritize means decide what's most important. We should prioritize experiences over possessions.
Another is metaphor, a figure of speech that compares two unrelated things, like your plant friend example.
Right. Recognizing metaphors can improve reading comprehension, so keep an eye out.
Last, implement, which we covered, but remember, a plan is a draft until you implement it.
Okay, that was a vocabulary marathon, but I hope it resonated with our diligent audience.
Same here. If a word felt tricky, replay that segment, jot it down, and use it in a sentence today.
Great strategy. Language grows through repetition and real-life context.
Absolutely. So take a breath, pick one regret to avoid, one word to practice, and move forward.
Deal. Thank you for spending this time with us. Your ears and hearts mean a lot.
Stay curious, stay courageous, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.